Welcome back to TMZ Live. What a big shocker last night when police in Florida announced that Antonio Brown, the former Super Bowl champ, all-pro wide receiver in the NFL, is wanted for attempted murder.
TMZ Live breaks down a jaw-dropping new development. NFL star Antonio Brown is now wanted for attempted murder after a violent fight at a Florida streamer event. We got exclusive footage and first-hand testimony from the alleged victim, Zul Karain. What really sparked the brawl and how did it spiral so dangerously? Let's break this down.
And this was an incident that went down last month, and we have video of all this.
Crazy video.
And I remember when they had said that he had been detained and released, and then we saw this video, which we're about to roll for you, and I think, how did they release him? Because you can see the crime play out here, the alleged crime. But it all started with, there was a streamers event going on, and Antonio is there, and he ends up getting into this fight with, it looks like several people, but one of the people, Zul Karain, who is going to join us in a moment. But watch this as this fight breaks out. Antonio's in there, Zul is in there. You can see a bunch of other people jump in, fists are flying, and then that's Antonio who backs up there. Now, he's wrestling with his security guard, and then takes off running into this parking garage. And watch what happens from here, and listen. Whoa. Yeah. So now, having seen, it sounds like what the police have other videos, surveillance videos in the area that help them piece this together. And that is why he is now wanted for attempted murder, because he fired directly at Zul.
Surveillance video is the smoking gun, proving a star athlete crossing the line from fight to felony, raising questions about accountability, not just on the field, but off it.
Yeah, we've actually obtained a copy of the arrest warrant that was issued this week for Brown. And in it, it states why they let him go. As you mentioned, Charles, they detained him briefly, but they said they could not find a gun on his person. They said they patted him down during this incident. There was no gun. And the victim, Zul, had already left for the hospital, so there was no victim on the scene. So they let him go and they conducted this investigation. And you're right, Charles, in the arrest warrant, they said they looked at surveillance video that kind of had a bird's eye view, I suppose, of this whole incident. And it apparently shows Brown reaching for the guard's gun, taking the gun, and going after Zul and shooting at him twice. And that's why they've issued this arrest warrant.
Right, and as he's going into the parking garage, you can see the gun in his hand, and this still from the video we just rolled. So, and then he runs around the corner and you hear the gunshots, though it wasn't clear who he was shooting at. We now know, of course, according to police, that he was shooting at Zul Karain, the man who he was involved in that scuffle with. And Zul is joining us right now. Welcome to TMZ Live, Zul. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. And firstly, my name is Zul Karain, and I want to say I'm a proud American, and thank God that I was blessed to be here. But I'm here to make the Ummah great again, and I stand with my brothers in Gaza and Philistine and Sudan and all the oppressed lands around the world.
Zul's words reveal this isn't just a street fight. There's a deep battle for identity and freedom underlying the conflict between him and Antonio Brown.
So that was, and you can see from that video, the enemy stands against that. Once it's a spiritual enemy or whatever, and this is why we're here, because there's attacks on my life and other people who are fighting for freedom and liberation for the oppressed.
So, Zul, explain to us, we saw the video of the fight with Antonio. What sparked that fight? Because it seems like that was the start of this whole thing. I mean, this was a streamers event.
Well, sir, that wasn't the start of the whole thing. The thing started many years ago. I know Antonio, and I helped him spiritually, physically. I helped him from being arrested in Dubai. He saw me, but there was already prior beef because he owes me money in the court of the law. So probably when he saw me, I reminded him of his financial failure. He's in debt to many debtors. You know, he's going through some type of severe bankruptcy. So if he saw me live in the flesh, I reminded him of that failure, and then that's when the attack happened. And of course, I defended myself against 3 or 4 or 5 people. You know, I was being jumped, so I had to fight. It was a quick 15-second brawl. I'm from New Orleans. We do that all the time. A little tussle, and you know what I'm saying, and get up out of there. So, you know, He stole on me. We went to tussling, boom, boom, boom. Some other guy came with a bat and was hitting me from behind. Some other guy was throwing hats, you know what I'm saying? So I was wounded, playing whatever. So, yeah, I got a little scar. I had to take
Right.
7 stitches right here.
Oh,
I had to
wow.
take 7 stitches. Somebody came over the shoulder, blindsided me with a bat. A little small kid, I think Hispanic kid. I don't know. I think he might have been a streamer. I don't know who these people are. So, bam, from there, the fight was broken up. I stepped out, and then the footage of what you see. But,
So what
made him crash out in that manner? I don't know. But I just know there's spiritual enemies. And I can understand why somebody who stands in a certain position, why the enemy of demonic spirits or whatever, because clearly you can see in the eyes that he's possessed by some demonic spirit. Something overtook him.
Zool's spiritual framing turns a physical brawl into a war of deeper forces, intensifying the narrative beyond just legal charges and into personal torment and supernatural battle.
So what does he owe you money for?
He stole a pendant in Dubai, and I have a judgment against him for I was doing jewelry at the time. I'm a jeweler. I'm a financial freedom fighter. So at that time, I was working in the jewelry industry. I came up with this small-tie pendant. It's a beautiful pendant. 80 grams of gold that you see him wearing, 24 carats of VVS diamonds, and it has a display. So you can play videos, pictures, multimedia in it. So say if you're trying to advertise something, or if I wanted to advertise this shirt, I would put a video and a shirt on the display, or this hat on the display, and it would be encrusted in jewelry. So it was very you know what I'm saying, was new in the jewelry game. It was very, so
innovation in the jewelry.
Innovative. He saw it, he wanted it, and we were trying to broker a deal, but then he's trying to. It's a very complex
Clearly, it's a complicated story.
We're almost out of time. I just got it. So the police in the arrest warrant, they say that you had gone to the hospital. Were you actually hit by any of the shots that were fired?
Man, Allah's merciful. Allah's merciful. I could have been grazed here, but I don't know. I don't want to take against God's mercy upon me, spare me, because I believe the angels protected me. But I do have burns upon my neck, and all that. But it did not enter my body and come out my body. It was not. So I thank God for that. That's first and foremost. And I left because I'm like I said, I'm from the Indo. I don't know what's going on. You feel me? I ain't trying to whoop. But then the next day he posted a whole fabrication saying that he's going to work with the police. He got jumped. Somebody stole his chain. And I'm like, why would you bring in if you got out, nobody was there to give a statement, why would you bring in law enforcement? And it's confused. Somebody say he on that Diddy dust down there. And I know that kind of mess your mind up.
Yeah. All right.
That Pink Panther?
Well,
yeah, that's neither here nor there. I don't want to slander the young man. May God have mercy upon him and guide him. You know, I'm not one of the turn the cheek Libyans, but you know, he trying to pull a TK.
All right. Zool, our thanks to you, and our thanks to your photographer for his close-ups. And,
got to see the scar there.
We look forward to the reality show down the road.
Yeah.
God bless.
I think we finally found a character bigger than Antonio Brown.
I think so. Somehow I could see how they would have come together in Dubai.
And then maybe it not going well.
And not going well. We are going to take a break. When we come back, just days after Scott and Kelly Wolf announced that they are divorcing, there is serious concern about Kelly. In fact, law enforcement showed up and took her into custody this morning. Why? We have some answers we will explain when we come back.
Remember Scott Wolf from Party of Five?
Yeah, big announcement from Scott this week, Scott and his wife Kelly, that they're divorcing, something he called the most difficult decision that they've had to make. And when they made the announcement, they said, look, we will be co-parenting, and it seemed like it was amicable, but things took a turn this morning. Kelly is at a resort in Utah. She says she's been there on vacation with her parents, and law enforcement showed up at the resort this morning and took her into custody. Now, she happened to be on her phone at the time and ended up posting this. I don't know if that was a mistake or intentional, but this is what happened. This is the video as deputies showed up at Kelly's resort and took her into custody.
Don't! Reasonable. Oh my God. This is not happening. Fine, I'll go. I'll go on my own. Please, I'll go on my own.
You got that arm? Yep.
Wow. Wow. This is shameful, gentlemen. Look at this. Look at this woman. This is shameful. You might want to turn this off. It's on. Would you like to turn it off? You want me to turn it off? Okay, fine. My phone was recording. I think this is shameful, and Scott Wolf has been abusing me, and now you're abusing me more.
We haven't talked to Scott Wolf.
Well, turn it off. Please hand me my phone to my right. Hand it to my hand right now. Thank you.
So you heard Kelly making an allegation there that we had not heard anything about, even when they announced the divorce, but we don't know that there's any evidence of that. We have reached out to Scott Wolf for his reaction to what is happening here. It doesn't seem like Scott is there at the resort with Kelly and her family, but certainly it sounded like someone had concern for Kelly's well-being.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got a little more clarification, Charles, from the sheriff's department on what exactly happened. So what they said is they got a call for a female who needed help. When they got there, they were told that she was saying some very concerning things to a family member, which she doubled down on when officers were there. So basically what they did was they detained her and took her to a local hospital for an evaluation. That's all they would say. They said this wasn't a domestic dispute call, and that's basically all we know for now.
Basically, they were concerned about her mental health, and
it sounds like
no word about like drugs or anything else like that.
No, but the crazy thing is that this post is still up on her Instagram, and she clearly has her phone because she's since posted on her story basically saying she was taken against her will, that she's completely fine, wants people to check on her kids, and essentially is calling this like the darkest thing that's ever happened in her life. So very bizarre.
All not good. Again, we want to stress that the allegations you heard her saying there, don't know that there's any basis for that.
And you feel for
clearly
her, for her
going
kids,
on.
because that's is not good for them to be in the middle of this, whatever's going on.
Empress from Atlanta, Georgia. And I believe that Kelly posted this on Instagram to try to prove her innocence. And she's trying to prove that she's not having any psychotic break or depression, that this was a setup. So I'm interested to see how it all plays out. And
do you think that this video proves that, though? Does this make you feel better about her?
well, not the video per se, but her follow-up on her story was just to prove that she's in her right mind. There's something else, yeah.
All right, well, we will see how this develops. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, flipper flop star Tarek El Moussa. We now know why he just beat the hell out of some guy in a casino, according to police. He's got his side of the story, and it all has to do with someone going after his dad.
So the other day, we told you this story about Tarek El Moussa and that he had hit somebody with his knee in Vegas as a way to defend his dad, but we didn't really know the backstory of what exactly happened, but now we do.
Now we got the details from the police about what went down at the Palazzo Casino, that Tarek and his dad were sitting at a roulette table, and this guy walks by, bumps the chair that Tarek's dad is sitting in. No big deal, they thought, and then the guy came back, according to police, came back, put his hand on Tarek's dad, like patted him on the shoulder, and at that point, Tarek said, we're not doing that, and gets up. And the way the police describe it, they get into a standoff, like in a fighting stance, both men. And police said they looked at surveillance video and they saw all this. They're standing off, and the guy goes for Tarek's legs like a UFC fight.
Wow.
Tried to get to the ground game, and Tarek wasn't having it. So we put the knee to the guy, and
that took care of that?
Took care of that. And
the guy's ended up unconscious.
And the guy ends up unconscious. Police are called, and the guy tells him, look, he wants to press charges. Tarek was not arrested, but was cited for battery, so he's going to have to probably go to court and deal with that.
So that's not self-defense for Tarek, even though the guy's going towards him?
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's his defense. I mean, look, they did square off, so that seems like mutual combat.
Right.
And maybe that's how this all ends up going away, is that it's just two guys fighting. And
the thing about Vegas, though, is everything's on camera. So
right.
It's not about memory or this. It's like we'll be able to watch every single step of it and then make a decision one way or another.
Exactly.
I'm Coleman. I'm from LA. And like you said, everything is on camera in Vegas. So what happens in Vegas does not stay there. I just think Tarek should go back to flipping houses instead of flipping out on people instead and go their own peaceful ways.
This explosive footage and eye-opening testimony paint Antonio Brown's troubles far beyond sports headlines, an alleged attempted murder and a complicated personal conflict exposing hidden debts, spiritual warfare, and violent breakdowns. The fallout could reshape Brown's legacy and raises urgent questions about celebrity accountability and justice. What do you think about Brown's spiral and Zool's claims? Drop your take below and join the conversation.